Hey everyone, Paul here with Raven Creek Homestead. I am putting together some feeder shims slash quilt boxes for the hives this winter. Last winter I had a really terrible loss rate of 100%, and I'm doing everything in my power to avoid that this year. So these are going to give me the ability to, on the bottom of the hive, or excuse me, on the top of the hive, the bottom would be stupid, the top of the hive I'll be able to put supplemental feed, Hive Alive, fondant patties, whatever they need, pollen patties come spring, and I'll be able to open up the hive without the bees flying all over the place, because this is 1/8 inch hardware cloth, so the bees aren't going to get through it, but they can eat all the supplements through it. So I'll have whatever I need for feed. Then I've taken a piece of advice from a local beekeeper up the street, Ball Family Farm, who told me if I'm also going to be putting insulation in this, do yourself a favor and put a layer of burlap or canvas on there, because if bees can access, that family uses the pink insulation like you get in your walls and stuff, the fiberglass insulation. If the bees get a hold of that, they'll drag it through this mesh and into the hive, and they make a mess out of the hive. So the burlap or the canvas will act as a barrier between the feed and the insulation. I may also try one of these with a rigid foam core board. Those won't absorb moisture, but they will add obviously a good R value. So it's really, I probably won't try a lot of the rigid, but maybe one or two and see how it does. What the other family does that they advised me of is when the pink insulation, when the fiberglass insulation gets wet, they come there, they take that out, they just literally replace it with dry stuff and put the lid back on. And as far as the makeup on this, originally I have a couple different boards. I was going to do an internal structure and kind of have the screen on this, but I think what I'm going to try to do instead is I'm just putting, because it's going to be a lot easier for me to put together, I'm putting the screen on the bottom, and then I'm going to be taking, I'm just going to be taking pieces of board, adding some glue, and stapling these down as well. That way I will have a nice tight seal all the way around, and I won't have a lot of exposure. I think what I actually am going to do as well around both of the deeps this year and these shims on top is I'm going to run a layer of some type of tape, whether it's building tape or duct tape or whatever tape that I have, just to eliminate any potential wind exposure. In years past I've wrapped them with a double bubble, which I might just do that as well, and that acts the same way as well. So all kinds of things to do, but I'm going to go ahead and keep getting to work here. By the way, for this I am using currently 1.25" long staples. 1.5" might be a good idea as well. I probably should have gone with the 1.5". I also have 2-inch ring shank nails, which I may add those if need be as well. Would probably be smart to be wearing gloves for this stuff, because it's pretty easy to poke yourself, cut yourself, yada yada. Don't necessarily do the things the way that I do them. I have the nickname Crash for a reason. I tend to hurt myself on just about anything and everything. Got the feeding shims, the quilt boxes all made up and painted today. So this is actually the bottom. Let me see. There we go. So I had some extra 1x5 laying around. So I made up one that was a little bit taller. But as you can see, nice green bottom board. I have not cut in extra ventilation holes yet. I'm still deciding on whether or not I want to do that, or just have enough material in here to capture excess moisture that I can then check and just change out the material when I need. So we're going to see. If I am going to put the vents in any of them, it's going to be the ones that are the 1x5s. And then these are my bee escapes. And I figured while I'm painting stuff, I might as well paint these as well. So got those painted up. So that way, a nice bright red color. Oh, sorry, that one's actually not a bee escape yet. This is a future bee escape. So I started using these 8-way plastic bee escapes, and I like these a lot. So nice bright color, so I can tell when they're on the stack. And how about that? White birch wedding arch. And it'll be getting used in about 13 days. So last week I did end up combining the hive that was over here. That's the top cover and the bottom board. I combined that hive with the one next to it over here. I didn't have newspaper, so I used paper towel. Well, I noticed last night when I was around walking with the dogs that with the paper towel or potentially some burr comb underneath, there was a good sized gap. So I'm back out here today real quick just to open this up, take off any burr comb, remove any excess paper towel, see how the hive's doing, and make sure that this is sitting flush. That way they're not getting robbed out by other hives nearby. So let's open this up and take a look, see how they're doing. They're chewing away at their Hive Alive pretty good. See if there's any bees up here in the top box. Oh yeah. Got a good looking box right here. Plenty of bees, wall to wall. And yeah. Let me see if I can remove a lot of this paper towel and figure out what's going on with this burr comb. I do see some, but not enough that it would really be blocking or making that much of a gap up front. These guys some smoke. Hi mamas, how you doing today? I'm glad to see the combine went pretty well. Hopefully you guys are all pretty happy with your new neighbors. I'm gonna let you ladies pick up a lot of this paper towel because this is pretty nasty. It's actually supposed to be pretty warm this week. It's supposed to be in the 80s almost all week. The lows, I'm not entirely sure. I think those are supposed to be in the 40s or so. A little bit of burr comb here going on, but not enough that I would think that it's causing that much of a gap in front, but it doesn't hurt to scrape anyway. Of course, now it's all indoctrinated with paper towel, so that's lovely. I have to just probably throw that away. Normally, I save all my burr comb scrapings, because eventually I end up with a decent amount of wax from that. I wouldn't get in there, Yellow Jacket. I'm not going to welcome you like they did the other bees. Then really, after today, I don't want to be opening these boxes anymore because I want them to be able to propolize everything accordingly and have a nice good seal for winter. Let's see what's going on here. Go, mama. Yeah, that's still rough. Why is that so bad? These boxes are not sitting flush, and I do not know why. If I need to, I'll just turn the box and see if that helps. And if I really need to, I'll duct tape the seam. But yeah, the box is not sitting flush at all, and there's no more burr comb. That's really unfortunate. Don't really know why that's happening. Well, I couldn't find any source of obstruction, so barring that, just got a layer of duct tape all around. I'll seal it up that way. And it's pretty cheap duct tape, so I got a couple of tacks on the front there just to make sure that it's held in. And seals up the gap for winter, keeps them from getting robbed through that location. It was a pretty small gap. I don't think the bees could necessarily get through it, but it would definitely let out scent for all the feed, and it would make them a target for robbing. Looks like they're still bringing in some good pollen too, some nice bright orange pollen. I'm sure it's goldenrod.